What's going on, guys? Dakota here. I've been wanting to make some consistent content now for a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger and do it. I'm going to be uploading Call of Duty content of all the top news and updates within the CDL community of the 2023-2024 season, whether that be tournament reports, roster updates, spice on the timeline, or any other juicy news. I'm going to be on top of it to keep the fans updated. If you're new here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and let's get right into it. Okay, this is where the fun begins. Rostermania has been insane this offseason. Today was actually the deadline for when teams had to basically let the player know if they're getting their contract renegotiated or if they're kicking rocks. And there was a lot kicking rocks. Who was the first to get announced today? Now, there is a lot of people that got let go today and announced unrestricted free agents, and everything above. It's been a wild Rostermania, one of the wildest ones I've been a part of. This many free agents on the market can really shake up a lot of teams this season and just change everything. All right, guys, another one today that was listed was Dan Ghosty from Optic Texas again. Dan played an incredible role with his IGL communication at such a young age, man. He came in and really just showed that he could run a team of really good players coming from challengers this year. So Dan really held his own. I think Dan's gonna get a team. I don't think he's gonna get kicked back to challengers this year. I think it would be kind of silly maybe to kick Dan back, considering he was winning all the challenger events and then got signed right into Optic with his first pro team, which is just a dream come true. The next one on the timeline today was Hixie. This one didn't really surprise me, considering all the drama going on with Toronto right now. You know, there's news that Insight and Kleenex are going, and now the Hixie has already parted. I don't know what they're fully gonna do. I don't think they're gonna get rid of Scrap. I don't know why anyone would ever get rid of Scrap. He was Rookie of the Year this season and really proved that he could hold his own. Also came in from Challengers. He was running the challenger scene, and everyone just loves Scrap. Who doesn't love a little trash talk? But yes, Hixie, I don't know if Hixie will get a spot. I'm sure he will, but I don't know if it will be any top team looking for Hixie. He's a really good role player at what he does and definitely worked very well with Scrap, but I just don't think he's going to be placed on a top team this season. Next up, we have Slasher. He was also announced today as an unrestricted free agent. That's going to shake some things up with a spot being available on FaZe. You know, FaZe is already a deadly team, and depending on who they sign, they might become the most deadliest team. So we're going to have to see about that, but Slasher is moving on. I think Slasher personally is going to Seattle, but I'm not too sure. Slasher could end up anywhere, in my opinion. He's got the potential to really slay out and provide the team with some leadership. Next up, we have Nasty. He is an unrestricted free agent. Also, London Royal Ravens dumped two people today, Asum and Nasty. They haven't announced anybody else that I'm aware of, so I don't know if they're wanting to move on with Yuli. You know, he also came from challengers, so we'll have to see how Yuli held up. Yuli was kind of thrown into the wolves this season. Of course, London, you know, they started off okay. They had their moments. Asum was slaying out for sure, but you can't throw somebody from challengers one man on a team that's already doing horrible and expect just a huge change. It most likely won't happen, and hopefully it doesn't ruin Yuli's, you know, credibility, but we'll see about that one. Next up, Asum, also an unrestricted free agent from the London Royal Ravens. I love this one. Hashtag free Asum. I agree with that guy. Finally, Asum is free. In my opinion, Asum, when he has a great team, he can just, I mean, he turns up anyways. Even when he was on London, we saw that he could drop bombs on people. He kind of fell off mid-season a little bit. Towards the end of the end season, he, you know, wasn't doing as hot, but I think the London mentality was just already pretty checked on that one. Hashtag free Asum. I don't know where Asum is going to go. No clue, but we're going to see. Next up, Standy. Hey, Standy is an amazing slayer. He's an amazing roamer. He causes chaos. Standy could really change some teams, in my opinion. I know Toronto dropped him this season and picked up Hixie. That's how Hixie got on the Ultra team. Then Standy went to Vegas, and I think Standy, I mean, oh my gosh, he was frying when the first, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks he was signed on to Vegas. He was just absolutely melting kids. So Standy is also going to be another huge one that anyone should want to keep their eye on. In my opinion, he really is a game changer with his slaying ability. All right, next up we have the whole LAG squad except for our cities. Joe Deceives, Assault, and Exceed, even some coaches, Arian and Mayhem. They have all been released, which is not surprising to me. I don't think they performed as what everyone thought they would when they showed up from challengers, but you know, Assault has his credibility to him, but just the team in general, just the dynamics were low. You know, everyone wants to put blame on RCDs for maybe not being the team player, or his mental fully wasn't there this season, but RCDs still has that slaying power. He needs a team built around him to actually do something good. Joe Deceives, though, he was actually very good. I think he was in the top 5 maybe for most aces this season in S&D, so he's got some S&D credibility to him to be able to maybe get signed or picked up, maybe Vegas, London, Scouts Joe. Exceed, I'm not too sure if he's gonna find anywhere, any place or spot, I should say, within the CDL. He might go back to challengers, I'm not too sure. Assault, I think we'll also just get back down to challengers, unless, of course, once again, a London or a Vegas pickup at this point. Something I want to get into, though, because I think this would be interesting, is the spreadsheet right now. This right here, you can basically see everything. I'm going to turn my webcam off for just a second so you can kind of see what's going on. But right now, this is pretty much updated on what's going on. There might be some things that are wrong. Also, shout out to the guys on Reddit that actually made this. I've just been updating it with certain things of my own, putting the roles next to the names, but really shout out to the guys from Reddit that created this, because this right here gives you everything you need to know about Rostermania happening right now. All right, one thing I do want to bring up right now is a lot of talk about LAT and how Envoy and Draws are going to be possibly going to Optic and, you know, yada yada yada. But one thing that really doesn't shock me is probably Octane and Kenny staying, just because Octane completely slayed this season. Kenny wasn't the superstar that he could be, but I do know Octane and Kenny have really good like IRL chemistry also, and they're buds, so I do think those two will be staying. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video for me today though. I really do appreciate you guys watching, clicking, subscribing, doing anything you can to help support me. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, whether it be you hate what's going on, like what's going on, have no idea what Call of Duty is. Either way, I really do appreciate the support, and I'll see you next time.